guys, what's going on? This is the conservative speaking, and I wanted to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse being found not guilty on all charges. First degree intentional homicide, second degree intentional homicide, and first degree reckless endangerment. And I have to say that I am relieved. Um, it was the right decision meant for the right person who clearly showed self-defense and not intent to kill like the rest of the left-wing mainstream media. And I have to say that this truly shows that you can have justice in America, and justice was served today. Make no mistake about it, justice was definitely served today. For this young man who practically was doing the right thing and felt he had to do the right thing at the right time. So considering that there was this big unrest in Kenosha over you guessed it, over a thug who who sexually assaulted the father of his children, who already had a PFA order against him, aka a restraining order, and yet he violated all of that. And then when the mother of his children called the police on him because he violated a restraining order to stay away from her, he then decides to go on a tirade, attack the police, and then it was Jacob Blake. This is the man that we're talking about, Jacob Blake. It was Jacob Blake himself that got himself into getting shot in the back 6 times after fighting with the police and ignoring their commands to surrender. This man turned his back to go and grab something out of his car that actually had his children in it, meaning that this man had zero disregard for his children, all right, let alone himself. And the police had no choice but to shoot him in the back. I mean, yes, granted, Jacob Blake was in a defensive position, but he put himself that way. I mean, he put himself in that position, all right. And knowing how police officers have been ambushed, there's no telling what Jacob Blake could have potentially pulled out of that car being in that position. So the police had to assume that he was going to pull something out and use it against him. So they had to use force. And because of that, that's when Kenosha was in this big unrest. And when we talk about unrest, we're talking about a bunch of thugs that were going around burning their own city and their own community down to support a thug. That's just what it comes down to. Okay? Kyle Rittenhouse decided to do something about it. Yes, he crossed state lines, and anyone can cross state lines. And please do not tell me that an American cannot cross state lines with an AR-15 when this country allows illegal aliens to cross the border every single day. All right, we're averaging about 100,000 illegal aliens coming into this country illegally, crossing the border every single month, and there's not an outcry about that. So, for Kyle Rittenhouse to be found not guilty of all charges, it just goes to show you that in the end, the evidence speaks for itself, not your emotions. And and to be quite honest with you, this story on its own wouldn't have even made headline news if it wasn't for the nature of the story. All right. In the end, Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 Black Lives Matter supporters, the same people that were going out and committing mischief and was contributing to the unrest, was contributing to the anarchy, was contributing to the thuggery. was contributing to defacing property, destroying property. These people were a part of it, and Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed these two people because Kyle Rittenhouse decided to come down and render aid to the unrest and try to maintain and try to keep the peace. Keep in mind, when you're going into an unrest area, that's really equivalent to going into war, because now you're going to clash with the protesters. And you don't know if the protesters are going to attack other properties or buildings, or if they're going to attack you. So to be armed would make sense, especially if you're going down there by yourself, which was reported. Kyle Rittenhouse, in my eyes, in my book, is a hero, a man doing the right thing, and yet he gets slaughtered in the media as being this white supremacist vigilante who decides to use his own white privilege and go out looking for blood. Okay? This is the same type of nonsense that they try to put out in Charlottesville when supposed white supremacists were out and causing trouble while supporting the Confederacy. In the end, Kyle Rittenhouse did a lot more than those protesters out there that chose to deface property and chose to riot and burn down their community. And for the simple fact that he will be maimed, this rogue white supremacist that was out looking for blood only shows and proves one thing, that straight Judeo-Christian white men are under attack. All right? They are more hated in America than anything else. And if you are a straight Judeo-Christian white man or white woman that stands for righteousness, that actually is a patriot and stands for this country, then you are the enemy of the state, especially as a white man. Now, if you are a straight Judeo-Christian black man, then you are considered the face of white supremacy, because keep in mind, you have a lot of black people who believe that white people are superior to them. Such a sad way to live, such a sad way to think, but that's pretty much that's pretty much how a lot of people feel, and what a shame. But this is a great day. This is a great day for our democracy. It shows that the justice system does work, and it shows that if you act in great faith, and it's proven that you acted in great faith, then you have the evidence to prove that justice will prevail. And it did. Okay? And I would have, and I've known that, and I knew, pardon me, and in a way, I knew that this was going to happen because basically of the first testimony, because of the first day testimony of the prosecution. You would have thought by listening to the first day, to the first day of testimony within the prosecution, you would have thought that the prosecution was working for the defense. Their own witness, this guy, Gross, I want to say his name. Yes, his name was Gage Grosskreutz. All right? He was the one that even admitted that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. That, yes, he chased him, and that Kyle Rittenhouse shot him only after pointing a gun in his face. And that's when Kyle Rittenhouse blew his arm off, rightfully so. The man should count his blessings that he didn't die. All right? which would have been a righteous killing. But the simple fact that their own witness, the prosecution's own, the state's own witness, stated that this man, Kyle Rittenhouse, acted in self-defense after he pointed a gun at Kyle Rittenhouse and tried to kill him. They knew immediately that they had no case. I think you were even able to see one of the prosecutors' face sunken in his hands. They knew it was over. At that point, they really should have threw the case out. It's a mistrial. It's over. It's already proven that he acted in self-defense. The fact that they even dragged this case on for 2 weeks, I mean, it's just, it's beyond me. But the process had to prevail. I mean, the process had to go on, and it found out that Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty of killing two men. By the way, 2 men that chased after him, that tried to do harm to him. All right, one of the men, Joseph Rosenbaum, chased after Kyle Rittenhouse and actually had his gun on the barrel before Kyle Rittenhouse decided to fire. Because at this point, he was in a be killed moment. Had he possession of the gun, Kyle Rittenhouse would be a dead man. But Kyle Rittenhouse did the right thing and shot and killed a man that was going to kill him. Kudos to Kyle for that. Then, and by the way, at Adam Rosenbaum, one thing I noticed too, like all of these protesters, it's funny that all of these protesters that were out that night, August 25th, 2020, they were all thugs, all criminals. Joseph Rosenbaum was a pedophile, a convicted pedophile, not an accused pedophile, but a convicted pedophile. Okay, this was a man that was convicted of molesting children, a sicko. All right, another person charged with domestic violence, Anthony Huber, another man that was rightfully shot and killed. This guy took a skateboard and was assaulting Kyle Rittenhouse with the skateboard. He hit him at the back of his head with the skateboard, like he was battering, like he was at a batting cage. Ridiculous. These men had it coming for them. They went after the right person, and Kyle Rittenhouse made sure that they put him out of their misery, rightfully so. And then the man that pointed a gun at him, Gage Grosskreutz. I mean, when you're looking at the barrel of a gun, what do you expect? I mean, you're gonna do whatever you have to do, especially if you have a gun at that point. That's all the person needs. All right. Lucky he went after his arm and not his head. Okay. So obviously justice was served today. If justice wasn't served, this would have been egregious for sure. But this just goes to show you that despite whatever they accuse you of, if the evidence shows that you acted in good faith, then the evidence will prove that. Not to mention, Kyle Rittenhouse is a true survivor. I mean, this is a man who survived the attackers, survived the media. I mean, he even survived attacks made by then presidential candidate Joe Biden. Joe Biden tried to characterize him as a white supremacist and tried to and put him alongside with Donald Trump. I guess supposedly they have this white supremacy thing going on. All right. And then when asked about the decision all Joe Biden wanted to say was that, well, the jury system works. Now, one time did he want to comment on painting Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist. See, again, all this shows you is that the Democrats can care less about the people. It's all about trying to all they're trying to do is tug at your emotions so that you can be able to vote emotionally for them. When truth be told, all they want to do is gain control over you. All right? Joe Biden should be the last person talking about white supremacy, considering that he gave a eulogy to someone who supported white supremacy. I mean, a person that was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Joe Biden gave a eulogy to this person, Robert Byrd. All right? Joe Biden called him a noble man. A noble man who has this belief that his skin color is superior of all skin colors. All right? But this is the type of person that Joe Biden tried to paint. Joe Biden tried to paint Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist, and yet he was the one that gave a eulogy to a person who supported white supremacy. Isn't that amazing? But justice was served. Hopefully, Kenosha, Wisconsin will not go up in flames, because we all know that the anarchists, Black Lives Matter, and Antifa will be out in strong presence, trying to once again vent out their frustrations by trying to burn down the very community that they live in. Because that's what Black Lives Matter and Antifa are about. They're all about mob justice. Okay? They're not about democracy justice. They're about mob justice. Give us our way or else. That's the type of mentality that they have, and it's a dangerous group. And this is a group that really should be taken down. And I promise you, if I ever become president, I will make sure that I will target them and take them down. Because truth be told, if the riots weren't happening in Kenosha, Wisconsin, then Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't have done his patriot duty to try to cross state lines with an AR-15 and try to keep the peace. In my eyes, I think, you know, he did that just as well. I mean, he did that better than the police did. All right? I think a lot of people would be grateful that Kyle Rittenhouse was out there that night. And I want Kyle Rittenhouse to continue to fight the fight. Don't let this hinder you by any means, and continue to do the right thing. And God will be with you. Just like he was with you that night when you justifiably killed those thugs. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section after you subscribe to my channel. Smash the like button, because I know you're going to enjoy this video. Share the video and subscribe to my channel once again, because I'll be able to provide content on the double. And with that being said, this is The Conservative signing out. Have a blessed day.